Auto shutdown canceled.
Alright, our proposal is ready for transmission to the client. So in this brief video, we're going to go through those steps. Once you've got the proposal ready, complete, your scope's tight, everything's ready to go, how we get that to the client, how we double check it before we send it to the client. So in our ribbon up here, we're going to go to Customer Portal, and we're going to share documents. In here, you're going to want to check your recipients and users and make sure that you've got everyone in here that you want. So in this case, it always brings in the primary, and you're going to have to add the other individuals. So we're going to click Add, and from Project Contacts, and we're going to select those other parties that are on the project. For our director, since he's our boss, we're really sharing these documents with him so he's aware that the efforts going forth on these projects. We take him off of being able to accept and reject the documents because he's not a part of the client or their structure. In the second portion down here, the SI users to notify, that's us as a team. So this dictates who gets notified that documents have been shared, who gets notified that that something's been accepted, or that there are comments that have been left. So we want to make sure that we get everybody captured on there. You as the creator are going to be in this list by default, so you're going to want to select all other team members and add them to it. And that gets our distribution correct for the project. So again, anyone that's associated with the project should be in the project contacts. If they're not, if they've said, hey, we want this person added, you can always come in and add and either create a new contact if there's someone that don't already exist, or if they're in the contacts already in DTools, you can search there, just like we did when we were setting the project up. Now to select the documents that we want to share, we're going to add a report for the proposal. We've been using the legacy proposal. The way that it breaks down the contingency and the 3% materials costs, it displays it a little bit more clearly to the client than some of the newer reports that DTools has. So we're going to go down in this list to legacy reports. What I find myself doing most often is I start collapsing these folders till I get to the one that I want to work in. And in the legacy reports, we're going to look for the proposal with images install price legacy. And that's the one we want to use. So we put a check mark in that box. Now this is your opportunity to double check the proposal and make sure that it looks good and you're ready to go. So we're going to click preview. And any items, if there were more reports that we were posting, any of those would appear here so that you can preview them before you share them. Since we've only got one selected, we only see this one item. So we're going to preview that. The system generates a report, and you get to see exactly what the customer is going to see when you send it to them. This is our cover page. Displays the project name, the client name. We have the project number, the date, the revision, this is where our project scope that we wrote appears on the proposal. So it's right there. It's the very first thing that the customer comes to on the proposal. They can read through that. We have our disclaimer here of the contingency. Then we get into the materials, and they're grouped by those systems. Again, the systems appear in the order that you have them in the project in the navigation pane on the right. So we had presentation display first. The items in presentation display show up first on our report, then our input sources and our infrastructure, and finally our labor. Always pay attention to your labor, especially for an internal project, and make sure that you have $0 amounts through all of your labor to let you know that you went through, you did that non-billable, you've done the work and adjusted the hours and all accordingly, If any of this has a dollar amount out there, it hasn't been notated as non-billable, you would have to close back out of the sharing documents portion and go back and edit your item in the project to be non-billable in that case. Let me scroll down to the bottom here in the project summary. Again, make sure that your adjustments carry the names as they appear here, and as we discussed in a separate video of how to change those settings so that it says 10% contingency and materials for the bulk cable, etc., and breaks that down, and they have the grand total. So everything on this proposal looks good, and we're ready to go ahead and move forward and add this to the portal. So we're going to add and close. And now it's in our box here. Now it hasn't been sent to the client yet. There's some more changes we want to make first. So the name for this document, all of this is a bit silly and extra verbose. We're going to take all of that out. It's just going to simply be the proposal. We're going to start it with our project number. And so it's the Project 20 AV045 proposal. We verify that's the project number briefly, and it is. On the proposal, there's really no need to put much in the description. In this case, this is a little bit of a preliminary proposal, and there's some additional things that we need to clear up as far as what display they have. We don't know the exact distance to the furthest viewer. We've sent those emails. We're waiting on the response. But for the sake of preparing these tutorials and going ahead and trying to get it out ahead and really make this client happy, I'm going ahead and putting this proposal together and sharing it with them so they kind of go ahead and start seeing what they're going to expect here. But I'll put this in the description. We're ready to share this at this point. We just click the share button. And here's a message that gets displayed on the email that goes to the client. So it starts out as a blank box. We have a snippet, a pre-canned snippet that's ready for the portal and proposal welcome. So this is their first email for this project from the portal, and it's the proposal. So we're going to take that snippet, we're going to add it to our project. And we have some things we want to edit in here before we send it. Obviously, this isn't project 034 for BI 2179, so we want to edit that to 045. And it's for RV2 Executive Suite. This is some good pre-canned stuff. That's information for the customer that we're using the portal for documentation. The estimate is available as estimated cost. Provide electronic approval if you're ready to move forward and submit your IDR to us. And it's got my signature on there. I'm fine with any of these going out with my signature. If you want to change that, please feel free. But do leave our departmental email address in there so that any communications they route back to us. I'm going to, again, that little disclosure that I added into this description, I'm going to add this here just to say, this is very preliminary. We haven't looked at anything yet. We'll discuss it in the coming days. So at this point, your email message that's going with the shared documents is ready. You can just click share. The system does its thing. It generates that report, generates the portal for the project, and the documents have been shared successfully in the customer portal. Shortly following this, you should receive email confirmation that that's been done, that the documents are there and they're shared. At this point, you would want to update your project information and make sure that you're in proposal out for client review. From there, you would just save your project and go ahead and check it back in. And now you can see your project is here, proposal is out for client review, it's showing a total price, and there's a little blue document here. This indicates that there is a document that's been shared in the customer portal. That concludes the video series on a very basic how to get projects created and shared with and the proposals out and shared to our clients using D-Tools at Augusta University for AV Systems Engineering.